So hello and welcome to our live webinar about the arts at Ipswich School. My name's Saskia Jordan and I work in admissions and marketing, and I'm just here to field your questions to our directors in the relevant disciplines. So I'll shortly be handing over to Bev Steensma to take over through music, and then we'll talk about art, drama and design and tech. We also have our admissions manager on hand to answer any questions we have about applications and dates. So please do send through any questions you've got. You can do that in the comments section on YouTube or Facebook. You can also use text to the number above my head or email admissions@ipswich.school. And please do send them through. It makes it much better for us to make it a tailored experience and to really get onto the topics that you want to know about. We've got a slight amendment to the format tonight because Bev, who's shortly going to be speaking, has a very important recital and levers do with her year 13s. So Bev will talk about her music and then we'll do music questions. So anything on music that you want to know, please do get those questions out as soon as you can, because we have to let Bev go. And then we'll talk a little bit more with each of the other directors of music, art, drama and DT, and then it will be open to questions. So without further ado, let's hear from Bev all about music.
Hello, I'm Bev Steensma. I'm the Director of Music here at Ipswich School. I've got, hopefully, be able to give you an opportunity to have an overview of everything that happens in the music department here. I've got quite a unique teaching experience here at Ipswich School. I've taught and headed up the music really right through from the lower prep up to A-level now. I'm currently the Director of Music at the Senior School, and I only teach at the Senior School, but it's given me a real overview of how music works throughout the school. We've got a really broad vision for our music department here. We try to make it so it's all of a very high standard, but also fun and accessible to all. We've got a high proportion of students who have individual music lessons, about 300 individual music lessons every week taking place here. And we feel really, really lucky to have music students who are performing in national ensembles, and also musicians who are just starting out learning to play instruments. And our aim is to be able to cater for them all, from the highly specialised and very talented top musicians to those who are just beginning. I suppose we are a music department which we hope stand out from the crowd. We've got a huge range of co-curricular music activities available to many students to take part in, and I'll have a bit more, tell you a bit more about that in a moment. But alongside those co-curricular activities, we have some quite unique activities here at Ipswich School which perhaps don't happen at other schools. We have a music festival that takes place over a week in October. We're about to launch into our 11th one of those, and that is a fantastic week where we're welcoming world-class musicians into the school to perform alongside our students in a professional concert. And we've had people like Courtney Pine and the Swingles, Julian Lloyd-Webber, and these are amazing opportunities open for our students to work alongside professional musicians working at the top of their range. We have close and important community links. We take a lot of our music out and do a lot of charity concerts and perform in the local area to lots of different people, schools, community centres, and in some of our concert venues around here. We have an annual spring concert at Snape Mortings, which involves students, musicians from the prep school right up to year 13, and that's always a wonderful, wonderful experience for all. You can see a picture there of our symphony orchestra on stage performing at Snape, and we always feel very proud to be able to share that stage along with the many other musicians throughout the year. From all of our top national orchestras have performed on this stage over the years, and so it's great to be able to say that we are there doing it every year as well. And then we are running an ever-increasing set of sort of holiday courses. So we have a summer strings course here, which we've expanded to Summer Strings Plus, which happens in August, and that's been running for, this will be our 11th year running this as well. And we're hoping to expand that over the next couple of years to brass and woodwind courses. And all of these are activities which really help us to put music at the forefront of school life here, along with our other art subjects. So just a little bit about the facilities here. For those of you who visited the school, you've seen we have an amazing multi-million-pound new music school, the Britain Faculty of Music. It was opened in 2016, and within this building we are able to cater for our many musicians. That includes 30 visiting music teachers, that they're professional musicians who come to teach all of those 300 music lessons each week. We have 4 full-time teaching staff and a part-time teaching a member of the music staff, and we help run the co-curricular activities as well as the classroom teaching. And then of course we've got our all-important music office and administration staff as well. Just a brief overview of our actual curriculum lessons, so the music that's taught in classes. In year 7 to 8, all of the students have 3 lessons every 2 weeks on music. And we have a very broad curriculum there, which really looks at keeping things as practical as possible. So we do lots of performing. We've got ukuleles and keyboards. We've got African drums. We've got samba kits. We do a lot of singing as well. We also have a wonderful computer suite upstairs in the music department, where we encourage children from as soon as they get into year 7 to start doing composing and notating their music on that. And then in year 9, and the children can make a choice if they choose to do music, and lots of our children do choose to carry on doing music, and that obviously leads us into our popular GCSE and A-level music courses, and we run Edexcel music courses, music exams here. Alongside the GCSE and A-level music exams, we also have 6 times a year Trinity and ABRSM practical music exams. These are for children learning instruments, taking their grade 1 to 8. They are held within school. It makes life really easy for you, because we will oversee that as a music department if your child's having a lesson in school or outside school. We've got lots of musicians who don't have their instrumental lessons here at school. They'll have them outside of school, and they can still access those exams. It makes it easy for you as parents, because we will organise an accompanist for you. We'll rehearse with your student, your child beforehand, and then the exam will happen during the school day. So you don't need to get time off work to take them to another place for the exams to happen. I spoke a little bit about co-curricular, and that is a massive part of the music that happens here at school. As I said, we've got nearly 30 visiting music teachers supporting us, and all of those children are learning instruments. Now, our aim is that to have the majority of children who learn an instrument in school, right through from the prep to the senior school, involved in making music in an ensemble. It's easier said than done. If you're a pianist, that is a bit more of a solo instrument, but the majority of our instrumentalists who learn an orchestral instrument or the drums or something like that can take part in one of our co-curricular activities. And I'll just quickly go through those now. In the senior school, we have 3 orchestras, and that involves a huge number of students. So, for example, on a Monday after school, we have a symphony orchestra, which is grade 5 or 6 plus, and we've got over 55 students in that. At the same time, we have our concert orchestra, which is really grades sort of 1 or 2 up to grade 5, and there's another 55, 60 students in that. Alongside these, at other various points in the week, we've got jazz ensembles. We have a big band, which is hugely popular, with the parents and the students enjoy listening to that and performing in it. We've got Jazz IS, which is a small jazz ensemble of our elite students who are sort of grade 8 plus. We've got 3 saxophone ensembles. We have 3 brass ensembles. We've also got string groups. We pride ourselves in putting together chamber ensembles, quartets, string quartets and piano trios, and we have a clarinet ensemble and a flute ensemble. Just trying to suck in as many children as possible to be involved in things. And alongside all of this, we have things like our annual music competition, and which leads to the Young Musician of the Year, and that's hotly contested, but also really worthwhile activity to take part in. We have professional adjudicators for that, so they get to learn a lot by having some comments back on their instrumental playing. And we have things like open mic nights, and then moving in, we've got some rock bands, and then with things like theory club to support your child if they need to get their grade 5 theory in order to move on to their their grade 6. I haven't spoken about choirs. Once again, they're something else in the school which is very, very popular, and we have a number of choirs in school. Probably our flagship choir is our chapel choir, which lead our chapel services, but also do a lot of other music. You can see them here at an outside event where we were singing for a local church. They were having an open event, and it was actually in Kersey. But we also travel to various cathedrals. We've sung at St Paul's Cathedral, Norwich Cathedral, Bury St Edmunds, and we go on choir tour. We've been to Hong Kong and Poland and Germany and New York, all sorts of places. We have a lower school choir specifically for children in year 7 and 8, and then we've got things like our show choirs, which are led by the students. So we have a sixth form show choir, and we also have a middle school show choir, which I lead alongside the students as well. I hope that I've covered everything. There's lots going on, and there's always something for children to get involved in. And often the children will come up with the ideas themselves and say, we'd like to do this, which is where our open mic nights came from. They wanted an opportunity for some of their bands and things to perform and get together. Thanks, Saskia.
Thank you very much. That was really interesting. Thank you. So I have got some questions for you, Bev, before we let you go to the year 13 recital. So let me get this one. So my daughter loves anything creative, art, singing, drama, and has quite a bit of experience in musical theatre. What opportunities are there for her to grow?
Okay, so maybe Sally might be able to answer this as well, but what I do know is that we, the drama and the music department work really closely together on a number of productions throughout the year, and there's lots of opportunity for us to collaborate and do something fun. Perhaps you'd like to say a little bit more, Sally?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we have, as I'll speak about them in more detail later on, but we do have opportunities for students to be part of a musical. Also, if students coming in at year 9, they can be part of the Arts Award. And in the Arts Award, they're able to grow at any skill that they're really interested in. So if it's musical theatre, they're able to take that on as their challenge, and then to perform either a scene with a song or a dance for musical theatre. And then that is where they will take the challenge from the beginning right through to performance, and that help them to improve their understanding and their knowledge of the musical theatre or any kind of theatre they are interested in. So there's that for year 9. Year 10, this year we are doing a musical as well for our middle school, and then we've also got the opportunity to do the musical in the senior school.
Thank you very much.
And also in year 9, something like the middle school show choir might be something which really floats someone's boat, and they're able to excel in that. And we have CS music as well on Thursday afternoon, community service music, and that's just like-minded musicians and people interested in the art get together, and we put together performances there as well.
Yeah,
so loads of access. Carry on, Sally. Sorry.
Yes, no. And to complement that, we've got CS drama as well, and we tend to do a pantomime every year that we then take out to the primary schools, and also we do workshops, and some of those have been very much connected musical theatre with normal theatre skills.
So Sally, CS being community service?
Yes, drama.
So in normal circumstances, you would go out into...
Yes.
Explain a bit more.
Yeah, primary schools, the hospital. What we've been doing this year is we've been recording the productions, and then they've been sent out to the primary schools for them to watch. So still kept it going.
That sounds great. And Bev, so same community service with music?
Yes, so what we do is we take the group of children who are involved in that, and we'll arrange some pieces depending on who we've got, and we'll arrange that they could be musical theatre or whatever the children want to do really. And then we go out to local care homes, and we go out to local schools, and we do performances there as well. And it's in much the same way that drama do. And this year we've been recording them and putting them online and doing all sorts of things.
Lovely. Now I've got another question that's just come in. Thank you very much. It says, if we have indicated that we would like lessons at school, will we find out when these are going to be before school starts?
Okay, that's a really good question. So what happens is we are currently collating all of those requests, and then we will be allocating them to students. So if your son or daughter goes to the prep already, and we already know about them, I'll be liaising with the director of music at the prep and saying, oh, who do you think, what teacher will suit this child, etc., etc. And then we will give the details to the visiting music teacher who will be taking on that lesson, and they will be contacting parents directly to let them know that it's all been organised. But if you have sent in a request, it will be being organised. You might not hear anything until end of August or early September, but do not worry. But however, in the meantime, if you just want to check, you can always email me via the school, and I will pop on over the summer and let people know, because I will have a list by then.
Excellent. So definitely by the end of August, beginning of September. But any queries, any problems,
Absolutely.
send you an email. It's all in train. Lovely. Another question for you here. Can pupils? Oh, well, you've just answered it. Yes. So can pupils have individual music lessons? Yes, they can. That is great. I don't think, Bev, I think we may be able to let you go. Thank you very much, and enjoy the recital.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye bye.
Right, so without further ado, we're going to hand over to Mr. Parkin, who will tell us all about art. You'll need to unmute yourself, Mr. Parkin. And
okie dokes, can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear. Over to you. Right. Welcome.
Okay, so my name's Richard Parkin. I'm the Director of Art at Ipswich School. A little bit about me. I am an old Ipswichian, so that says something about the school. I think the fact that I came back. And I did a degree in architecture. That was what I left school to do, and then moved on to be a documentary filmmaker at the BBC and Channel 4, making arts documentaries and documentaries about architecture and design for quite a few years before I then moved into teaching art and photography. So I joined the school 5 years ago, and I think that we work very hard as a department to create a broad church where children will get the opportunity to try all the different faces of the creative arts and to decide where they want to go and what their personal voice is, and how they want to express themselves. Going to the very beginning at Key Stage 3, we really focus on developing core skills of drawing, colour, tone, and working in 3D. Each year, teachers set up a large and inspiring still life in our classrooms based on a theme. It might be based on a particular artist, or it could be to do with the outdoors. I had science fiction the other year with a life-size TARDIS in my classroom, and that really inspires the kids at the beginning of the year to get stuck in and learn about the basic skills of drawing, observation, proportion, shape, tone, etc. And then we build on those core skills into colour theory and painting from the still life. We then move into 3D in year 7, going to Ipswich Museum, drawing from the animals there, and then creating animals in clay. And then we move on to printmaking. So they should really have, through all of those, built their observational skills through 2D and 3D. And then we build on that as we move into years 8 and 9. We also try to foster an understanding of how the creative arts, well, art and design can be applied in industry and in future careers. So we do a series of different modules where they might use some design and architecture, they might do some textiles, some photography and Photoshop, as well as drawing and painting and other skills, so that they can really start thinking about where they might want to go with it if they want to carry on to GCSE, because we offer photography, textiles and fine art at GCSE. We work with ICT as well as traditional media. We even have a VR kit in the art department so that they can sculpt and draw in 3D in virtual reality. So we really embrace technology because that's the future, and that's where our young people will be working when they go into the world of work. The GCSEs all come under the banner of art and design, and we do them with Edexcel. We allow students to build essential skills in their chosen subject, be that with sewing machines, a digital camera, Photoshop, drawing, painting, sculpting. And we build all of our courses on a foundation of creative thought. So it's really important for us to encourage students to make surprising connections and to find their own voice, which are essential skills for every young person, whether they're going to go on to be a creative or whether they're going to be a lawyer. And this makes our courses so useful as part of their array of life skills that they develop at Ipswich School. As a department, our ambition is really to allow students to find out who they are and how they can express themselves. And I think that really sets us apart as a school. There's no formula. Each of our students finds their own strengths and learns how to build on them and how to think like an artist. We teach them how to make surprising connections, how to look at the work of other artists and assimilate them into their own, and how to develop those core skills. And also, I think what's special about our department is that we have a really broad array of skills in our staff. We have specialisms in textiles, photography, sculpture, glass making, filmmaking, mixed media, painting and drawing. And this really broad base of expertise is evident in our end of year shows, which you'd be very welcome to come to under normal circumstances, obviously. So hopefully next year, you will see that no two artists produce the same piece of work and no show is the same as the ones that preceded it or the ones that follow on in later years. We also like to bring in artists from outside the school, sculptors, printmakers, textile artists, ceramicists, to share their skills in special workshops with our students. So we really want to develop the whole child and build confidence in their abilities. Their love of learning is at the heart of what we do at Ipswich School. We want art to be diverse, we want it to be playful, and we want it to be creative. And this is our vision for our courses and our young people. And also just the year sevens get an hour and 20 minutes a week as well. So they get a double lesson every week to focus on art. So it's a really good opportunity for them to learn and grow. And that will really cover the issue of whether your child has had a lot of art experience before. So say prep students do a lot of art and DT, but at other primary schools that may not be the case. And so that investment in time that we give them and the broad range of skills that we teach them allows other students who haven't maybe had that opportunity to catch up, so that by the end of year 8, when they start deciding which subjects they might want to continue with, they'll really have been able to catch up and all the students are on a level playing field. In terms of our modules, fine art is the most popular module. We have between 20 and 30 students each year at GCSE. In year 10, going into year 10. Photography is a more recent addition to our offer and it's growing each year. We now have 16 students about to start in September in year 10, along with a brand new computer suite and studio, photography studio space to accommodate them. Textiles is also growing. We have between 10 and 12 students joining in year 10. And our courses are popular, even up to A level, where we're looking at 18 students joining us in year 12 next year, taking art, photography and textiles. We also have lots of students who go on to creative careers. Over the time that I've been here, over the last 5 years, we've had students go on to do fine art, architecture, product design, fashion, textiles, photography, to name a few. We also have our own block within the school, which is great. So we have a very strong identity. It contains printing facilities, a large kiln for working with clay, a computer suite, which I've mentioned, and photography studio, as well as a textiles room that has 12 sewing machines. We're also in the process of developing these facilities, and next year we'll be creating a new textile suite with a larger space for machines and for sixth formers. We're also planning to create a sixth form studio area so that A-level students can come and work whenever they have free time and have the luxury of not having to pack away after short periods of time. Co-curricular, we offer a year 7 and 8 art club on Monday lunchtimes under normal circumstances, where students get to experiment with a wider range of techniques than is possible in lesson time. We also run an academic excellence program for our strongest artists in year 7 and 8, and this allows us to bring in outside artists who can run specialist workshops to stretch and inspire. We also sometimes take them out to workshops to experience working with other artists. We also offer scholarships for the very best students, which offer between 5 and 25% remission on fees. And these exceptional students are asked to be involved in special projects. So some of you may have seen the Elmer Elephant Sculpture Trail, where we designed and produced an Elmer Elephant sculpture, and we asked the scholars to get involved in that. They're also expected to continue with art until GCSE. We like to run trips. We think it's really important for the students to get out of the school to see art in different contexts. We have a year 8 trip that we run alongside the classics department, where we go to Norwich and they will visit the Sainsbury Centre, Art Gallery, Norwich Castle, and also a Roman dig. In year 9, we take the students to the Harry Potter studios, where they can get to see the work of 4,000 artists who worked on these prestigious films, which is a really exciting and inspiring day out, where they can get to see how art can be applied in the real world and how art can be applied in industry. We also have run in 2019 a trip to Florence and Rome alongside PRE, where we got to go to some of the most exciting galleries in the world, see inspiring architecture, and meet local people. Next year, we are planning to run a sixth form trip to London, which will be a co-curricular trip. It'll be drama, art, DT, and music, working alongside each other, cross-pollinating and inspiring each other by touching base with different disciplines. So they might all go to a theatre performance, and then they might all go to an art gallery, and they might separate off and do something special to their discipline, and then they meet and exchange ideas. So I think that's really important, the identity of our creative subjects together. So that is the main points, I think. But if I've missed anything, please do ask me questions. I'm very happy to answer them.
That's thank you so much, Richard. Really exciting about all the trips and the cross-tangential ways it connects with so many other things. I'm going to hand over straight to Sally now, and then we'll bring you back in for some questions at the end, because I have got some questions for you. But let's bring Sally in. Okay. Now, Sally, I need, can I unmute you? No, Sally, I need you to unmute, and then we'll hand over.
I knew that was going to happen.
Well, the floor is yours. You've already told us all about the musical theatre opportunities. Can you tell us a little bit more about drama at the school?
Yeah, well, definitely. Thank you. Hi, I'm Sally Broach. I'm one of the drama teachers at Ipswich School. And firstly, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to tell you all about the amazing arts opportunities we offer here at the school. It's really nice to be able to talk about a department my colleague Sophie Pitt and I are so passionate about. We are a smaller department of 2 teachers and 1 admin staff. We love this, as we always refer to those taking drama as our family, because myself and Sophie, the head of the department, work so closely together and share all exam classes, meaning the pupils become really familiar to us and we can meet their academic and co-curricular needs on a real individual level. I'll start by running through the basics of the curriculum so you get a flavour of how drama is structured, followed by the co-curricular opportunities for each key stage, before summing up what we think characterises us and our ethos best as a department. At the school, pupils have drama in year 7 and 8 once a week in their form groups, enabling regular contact between us and the pupils right from the beginning. We begin year 7 introducing the building blocks of drama, essentially learning a new skill each week before the pupils apply this to their own piece of theatre in education, establishing how theatre is vital in creating social change. We then look at various genres and style of theatre through both devising original performances and interpreting different scripts. This carries on into year 8. Our aim is to instil a breadth of study across the 2 years so that our pupils become confident and versatile as solo and group performers. Year 9, where many pupils start to streamline their GCS choices, is where we offer pupils to sign up to the Arts Award. And I spoke a little bit about that earlier with Bev. This is offered to 30 pupils and is often oversubscribed. So the places are allocated in a lottery fashion. The Silver Arts Award is made up of 2 units. The first unit is a challenge, and the students can pick any kind of theatre they would like to explore or to get better in. So if they would like to learn how to write and then perform a piece of drama, that can be their challenge. They may want to take, like I said earlier, a piece of musical theatre and recreate the dance, the scene, the song. They can do that, and then they document their journey, and that all collates in a performance at the end. Then the second unit is all about leadership, and in that they can direct other people, they can market a product to do with theatre. And what we were hoping to do before obviously the changes is to create a performance in the museum, using the museum exhibits as a stimulus, and then each group would market one other's performance. So it's a whole rounded learning of how you actually put on a show and how you have to market it and how you have to make sure that everything is correct, health and safety, everything like that. So the great thing about the Arts Award is that you can really see how they're developing from the year 7 and 8 skills that have already used, to then actually use them to create and work for themselves. It's really a wonderful thing to have because you've got 2 UCAS points with that, and also the silver award is also akin to the level of a GCSE 4 to 9. So they can come away with this, and it's a really good place to then go into year 10 and 11 to take GCSE drama. You can still take GCSE drama if you don't do the arts award, but it's really nice for those students to be able to keep their love of drama going over year 9. Year 10 and 11 sees us offer AQA GCSE drama, and we are a very popular choice. Our year 11 is a class of 26 and our current year 10 is a class of 24, so extremely healthy numbers. Over the course, pupils create their own devised performance, which they can reflect on a piece of coursework. They perform a section of a published play and study The Crucible by Arthur Miller, as well as attending lots of live theatre. Our results, I'm really pleased to say, have been excellent, with a number of pupils achieving the top grade of 9 and some of the best in school consistently each year for overall results and value added. So we feel really confident that the pupils really thrive in our drama. Indeed, our A-level numbers are also really healthy, with 7 currently studying the subject at year 12 and 9 in our year 13 class. Our results have been consistently high, with 100% A star to B achieved every year since we started offering the A-level. The course follows a similar vein to that of the GCSE, but obviously offering more challenges. And we also study a number of theatre practitioners in depth to begin to prepare our pupils for taking the subject at university level. It's helpful that for both GCSE and A-level, we offer, when COVID allows, a number of theatre trips for both exam groups, some of which are entirely funded by the department. Our A-level theatre day, where we attend a matinee and an evening performance of 2 contrasting top shows in London, has been a real hit. We also recently went to New York with a GCSE, and that's the picture there on your screen on, I believe it's on the right, where we attended a matinee and an evening performance. And the pupils also participated in professional actors workshops. It was really great to see an on-Broadway show and an off-Broadway show. We're looking forward to our next trip with A-level, which is taking our very first performance at the Edinburgh Fringe, obviously things allowing. We also work with some world famous companies such as Gecko, who actually are part of the school's office space here, Frantic Assembly and Paper Birds. We like to bring in companies that are fresh and in new and happening, so that our pupils are on the pulse of the current theatrical climate, which is why I think we foster such passion amongst our pupils. We have had successful candidates attend top schools such as Mount View, Oxford School of Drama, Central, as well as consistent success with the NYT. Our co-curricular opportunities are endless. We offer year 7 and 8 drama club that results in a sharing evening of their work in around January. Our top 20 year 7 performers in their May exams are also invited to participate in the Suffolk Festival, where we have won our category every year we have participated. We extend this opportunity to other pupils, and we have scooped prizes in every category we have performed in, which we are very proud of. The lower school production is also a huge affair. One of the slides there is the performance of Dark Tales. That's that one there. You can see them in their lovely costumes. We've got a ram. It's great. It's a huge affair. Our last performance, that the one Dark Tales, we had over 100 pupils from year 7 and 8 participating, either as performers or technical crew. We have some students like to help with the costumes, creating the scenery. And this shows what a feat our productions are, but also what a stable part of school life drama is, with over half our lower school participating. Year 9 and 10. Sorry, I've just done something really silly on my notes. Here we go. Year 9 and 10 perform in the middle school play, which again sees a large cast of 45 to 60 involved. We've performed period dramas such as She Stoops to Conquer, modern comedies, name it, we've done it. All of which to full audiences every night. This in addition to all of the workshops and theatre trips we offer for our GCSE pupils. Year 10 are also offered the opportunity to direct and help with the lower school production, and we do have quite an uptake with that, which is really good, because not only are they seeing what it's like to perform on the stage, they're also working very closely with us on a production level. And then we have Year 9 also performing within a study, obviously, of the Arts Award, which I've been speaking about. Finally, there are senior school opportunities. We perform a straight play once every other year. Last year's being Road by Jim Cartwright. We just managed to get that in the beginning of February before the lockdown. So that was fantastic that our students actually had that chance to perform. And then we do a musical the next year. So we have just recently done Little Shop of Horrors. And there was a slide of Little Shop of Horrors there, Saskia. There we are. That's one of our students there with the monster before it gets really, really huge. We pride ourselves on treating this as professional theatre and hire expert lighting, sound, set, and we use a costume designer to work with the pupils so that they can really get a feel of what it's like in the industry. I myself am a local freelance director in the area, and I direct lots of shows. I work for several companies. The most recent one I worked on, I directed The Addams Family at the New Wolsey. I've also got my own theatre company, which is Paper Lantern, who perform in local rep theatres around the county and also in Essex. I think to have staff that are still currently working in the industry is a real selling point for us, as we are still practicing our craft, and this really comes through, I believe, in the quality of our work. Finally, from Year 9 to Year 13, pupils can always study community service drama. This is where we meet once a week. We are a working company, so the students can take up several different roles in the company. They can write the script, direct, choreograph, and we work on several projects during the year. Like I said earlier, we have a pantomime that we do over the Michaelmas term, which we then take out to the primary schools. Then into Lent term, we tend to do workshops where we'll also go out into the primary schools and we'll teach some of the primary school Year 6 students skills, which will then be really enable them to then take on drama when they get into senior school. And then in the summer term, we tend to go out to several old people's establishments, and also we go into the hospital where the students will perform songs, prose, sketches, monologues to the patients. It's a really fantastic thing that the students do. They seem to really love it, and for several of them it's one of the things of drama that stays with them from being here at Ipswich School. I end with CS drama deliberately, as I feel its inclusion in our curriculum sums up our ethos and what we pride ourselves as a department here at Ipswich School. Our drama is a triple threat. It's far too easy for people to not understand or have had dealings with the complexities of studying theatre to dismiss it as a soft subject of little value, but we believe it has incredible value. And we really feel that the drama that the students do with us in Ipswich School stays with them for a long time and takes them into any working area that they decide to follow.
That was really interesting. Thank you. So much opportunity. Stay with us, Sally. I'm going to bring Max in now to talk about design technology, but we'll bring you back in for questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Max. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Well, in the ether. There we go. My name is Max Molenaar. I'm head of design and technology rather than a director. I don't know why that's the case. Do you know why that's the case, Saskia? Why am I head, not a director?
Because that's what you typed in, Max. You keep talking, and I will remedy that.
That's fine. I'm happy. No, good. I'm happy with that. Some people might be thinking, why is design and technology in this forum? It's the Arts Ipswich School, so why is technology here? Well, we see ourselves very much as a creative subject, and especially we like to encourage that strand of creativity and inspire pupils in that aspect. So I think it's valuable to discuss my subject here in this forum. Just starting with the Year 7s, which come into the school, because design technology is not exactly taught equally across all subjects where we get the feeder schools from. So we start with a level playing field. We assume nothing and we just teach from there. So Year 7, we tend to look at the traditional skills and knowledge and essentially build the foundations, which has been said many times already in this little webinar. So we make sure we skill our students with traditional woodwork skills. We look at plastics, and we also introduce graphics. So it does nicely go hand in hand with art. We find, especially when teaching graphics, that so you get the pupils who are reticent about drawing, oh, I can't draw, that kind of thing. We really want to knock that mindset out. So yeah, you can draw, you just need to be taught how to do that, and I'm sure that would be very much supported by Richard as well. We tend to use a mixture of focused practical tasks and then drip feeding design and make projects. Focused practical tasks are really useful because it allows pupils to develop those skills and confidence with materials and tools in the workshop. We try and introduce higher levels of challenge into the lower years as well. So we use industry standard CAD, which is computer-aided design. We use SolidWorks and Fusion 360. So anybody who's got industry experience will probably have heard of those programs. And we've got a really good CNC presence in the department as well. So we've got 3D printers, laser cutters, all which are accessible to students to use within their projects. Excuse me, take a little drink. So next year is year 8, building on these skills, but adding greater opportunities for creativity into design and finish of their projects. Once they've got the bare bones, as it were, we're trying to flesh those out. And by adding additional metalwork knowledge and skills into there, that's covering all the kind of traditional resistant materials, which people will probably be more comfortable with. As my colleagues have mentioned, year 9 is an option. But we do have very, very healthy numbers. I think about 80% of students from year 8 to year 9 opt for design and technology. Year 9 is super useful for us because it allows us to drop down GCSE content into that year. We do that for a couple of reasons. And firstly, it really upskills the students. It gives them great preparation to step up to the formally examined subjects. It really gives them a really good head start there moving forward. And it also provides greater challenge to pupils who express an interest in following the subject. Kind of projects we do in year 9, we look at electronics, we try and develop their modeling skills, so it's a high level there, and also more traditional design and make projects, usually with less parameters that they find in the lower school, so a bit more choice and variation that they could come up with. We also look at mechanisms and trying to see why they're important in the day-to-day world. So back again, hang on. So even if pupils do not take the subject any further than that, I believe that we've prepared them for a world where technology is exponentially growing and they have some understanding of what they can do and how to make informed decisions accordingly. Whether they're going to go and work in a nuclear power station or just comparing specs and buying a new mobile phone or how to change a plug. You know, all those kind of basic things which everybody needs to do, but you just take those skills for granted, don't you? So hopefully we can kind of embed them, get them in there at early levels. At GCSE, we follow a different exam board. We do OCR. We do product design. The reason why is because I feel that gives the most flexibility for the students in terms of what they want to do with their projects. So the projects are the way the GCSE is organised is 50% exam, 50% coursework. So the coursework is essentially their own choice. So by giving that flexibility to product design, they could follow like a more traditional woodwork thing. They could do electronics. They can even do textiles. We've had some really successful textiles A-levels in the past. Just gives you that real big flexibility and options to pursue. How does the course look? Well, in year 10, we kind of revisit some materials areas and kind of hone those skills in projects targeted to address key areas and specifications. I've just mentioned that year 11 is essentially 50% coursework. So really, we find that by focusing on the coursework in most of year 11, it allows the pupils to already have a high grade in the bag before they even enter the exam room. A-level's similar, but obviously it's higher levels. With the A-level, especially in year 13, we want one of the year 13 students on the side there, we can tailor that project even more specifically. So can then help them get into the university course of their choice. So we've done architectural projects, we've done engineering projects, we've done medicine projects, and even sports science ones. So doing a project on those particular areas that the student has the interest in, that will really prepare them for an interview with a course tutor at a university, and it really puts them above the competition there as well. Just showing that they've used their time at school to really prepare for that university course. The department vision and ethos is very much my own personal ones, and that is every child can. That's it. Dead easy, very easy to do. Every child can. You can if you put your effort in. You can do if you get the right support, you can have the right motivation. Every child can. There's no reason why you cannot. And that goes hand in hand with my other one, which is that, is this the best you can do or the least you can get away with? The question I ask my kids a lot. And hopefully the answer is always the first one, Saskia. Hopefully the answer is always the first one. I feel the subject's only growing in the school since I've been there for 3 years. We have really good facilities, and also if you look around the local area, it's very common for the subject to be phased out. Maybe because of lack of specialist teaching, maybe the fact we're an expensive subject, maybe the fact that we don't, nationally the exam results aren't great, so people without, SMTs without that vision and passion for the arts and creativity, that doesn't particularly sit well with them. But we're finding we're just investing in facilities as we're going, and the exam results that we're producing are fabulous. In terms of uptake and numbers, everybody did the subject in year 7 and 8. So year 7 does 3 lessons a fortnight, year 8 does 4. We've got a class size of about 10 kids average, which is fabulous. Really allows you to get to know the pupils well, they get to know you. And you can spend time with them rather than having to rush around on a carousel. You can spend a bit of time with little Jimmy and then really get to know them and find out what makes them tick. Kind of popular projects at the lower school, the wooden buggy. Anybody who's ever been on one of Laura's tours will have seen the wooden buggy. Traditional little woodwork task which the kids love. Who doesn't love chiseling in year 7? Still scares the life out of me sometimes. And then we also run a bird box project, which looks fabulous, goes home, like a little Southall beach hut thing. Very popular thing as well. Year 9 class size, go up a little bit. We've got about average class sizes of about 12 kids. Projects that they enjoy doing range from designer clocks, which is kind of based on a product designer which they feel inspired by, or design movement. So again, those kind of link, those curriculum links of art. And we do little automatons, which are little wooden toys as well. So if you on the slides, I think there's a picture of one of our students who made a little wooden toy there that's had some mechanisms in there. GCSE class size about 12 again. One of the favourite projects there is the pizza cutter, because we then obviously have to trial it. So the pupils really enjoy that. And then moving forward to A-level, class size is about 10. We cover a variety of different small projects before they then get their teeth into their major one. In terms of staffing, we've got 4 full-time teachers, technicians, so good at quite a big department really. Everybody's got their own background, different varieties, which is really interesting. So I'm an engineer by trade, so I see things very much from an engineering point of view, whereas we have product designers as well in the department, and so you do get that style over substance argument as well sometimes, but we've always managed to find a really good amicable resolution. I think especially that's useful if you're looking at the higher end projects, making sure you get both those facets in there. So we want it to work well and look good, and that's important that happens. I think we've got about 60 years experience with our department, and that kind of makes us sound old, doesn't it? But we're not, young and dynamic. That's good. In terms of facilities, we've got 2 multimedia workshops, which are fully stocked with hand and power tools. We've got industry standard kit in there, saws, lathes, milling machines, wood lathes. Yeah, so we're fully stocked with that. We've got a dedicated computer suite upstairs to run our CAD programs. We've got a graphics room, so we've got an area where pupils can get all the marker pens out, get pens, pencils, set squares, and still access those traditional skills. We've recently developed a little modelling room, so like an upstairs workshop. So trying to develop your ideas iteratively is very much in the heart of the curriculum nowadays, and to use little models as you go along. That's the way it's done. Like Mr. Dyson made 1,000 models of his vacuum cleaner before he actually made his vacuum cleaner. So you can kind of see why that is relevant and works. We also have a dedicated A-level teaching room, again with computers, and we have a CAD CAM area with a brand new laser cutter and 3D printers. In terms of co-curricular, our main selling point is the Design and Make Club, which I set up a couple of years ago. So that happens on a Thursday afternoon. So the Design and Make Club, the thought of it is like everything that we do in the curriculum is designed to teach and learn, obviously, and so pupils progress. But what if they just want to make a skateboard? Or what if they just want to make a basketball hoop? And that was a really helpful vehicle to develop for that. So there you go, kids, what do you want to make? Have a lovely time. So we'll support you, we'll design it, we'll make it, we'll get the kit in. Ta-da. Like I said, we've made skateboards, basketball hoops, little rock'em sock'em robots, and we're currently working on bedside tables and traditionally carpentry and joinery work, which doesn't really shoehorn into the way the curriculum's changed over the years. Alongside that, we've also got an acrylic jewelry making club, which is quite popular. Like Prue Leaf Bake Off, you know what I'm talking about. All that bling.
Oh, like a Prue Leaf necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah.
So we have that as well. So that again, both those options are very popular and it's a really pleasant thing to do because it allows them to see different pupils at different heights. So that one they've got that kind of focus and determination to really produce something excellent, and then you can kind of guide and hone that's how they actually do and produce a great result.
And did you say that kicked in from year 9?
Yeah, that's in year 9.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Right, can I bring everyone else in? Thank you, Max. I'm going to bring everyone else in back, and then we'll just we've just got 10 minutes for questions. So let's bring in Richard. Hello, Mr. Parkin. And let's bring in Sally in. Yeah, lovely. Okay. And I've also, Laura, I'll bring you in because we'll also ask about some admissions questions. Right. Okay. So, Sally, this is one for you. Do you do Lambda in school?
Yes, we do. We do have Lambda. To great acclaim, actually. We have Adrian Thornley, who's our Lambda teacher, and she has achieved excellent results. All but one this year gained distinction in their last exam, which is incredible considering with all the social distance that we've had to manage. She's a private tutor, so she's not really technically in our department, but because we tend to see her and support her, we tend to think of her as being in our department. So all of the lessons are run in school hours, and it's done on a rotation so that pupils don't miss the same lesson each week. So it's really compatible with the curriculum.
Thank you very much. Richard, can I give you this one? Why should we spend time studying art if I think my child's probably not that creative or artistic? Is there any point?
Well, I think two things there. One, I would say, how do you know? Because I think that creativity is something that can be learned and developed and fostered in a child, and perhaps they haven't had the opportunity yet to express their creative side. But I think also creative thinking is essential in all industries. That's what people are looking for, is creative individuals, not necessarily fine artists, but people who can think imaginatively, think outside the box. And our subject fosters that. And what's more, with future of artificial intelligence, I think that it's becoming more and more likely that certain jobs will be taken away, some aspects of law, accountancy, whereas the creative industries are far more likely to be protected for far longer. So I think it's essential that all young people learn about creativity and how to be creative.
I'm going to ping that one to you. probably concur, wouldn't you say, Max, with your every child can?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So totally echo your comments there, Richard. So we ultimately are at the moment preparing kids for jobs that don't exist yet. So people who have that protected narrow view about traditional subjects, perhaps you need to have that extra X factor about you to be able to succeed in that future world. So being creative and showing those talents and having a buzz about you, which what people foster in these lessons is hugely important.
And then Sally, I was talking to one of our alumni in OI last week, and they were saying their job has nothing to do with drama, but they were saying they think it's made them really confident about speaking in public. Is that something do you think because you're bringing them in at year 7 and 8 and getting them really enthused about drama?
Definitely. I think it's what's really lovely in some of our drama classes that in year 7 they come and they're like, oh, we don't really like drama, we don't want to do it, and then by the end of the year they're directing other people in groups, and that's so wonderful to see. I think it's really important. Every single job that you have to go for, you are going to have to do some kind of public speaking in some shape or form, and it's really grounding for them to be able to have the confidence to stand up in front of people, and especially from year 7 and all the way through. We've also had for our year 13s who have just left, we had some academic lectures, and we had somebody from the Ipswich Speaking Club come and talk to them about how we use drama in the workplace. And what was so lovely was that they then actually could understand what he was saying about the things that they've learned from doing drama all the way through the school, and that was great. And they said, oh, now we actually can see the difference it's made being able to take these skills and now to put them in a different connotation. So it's really good.
Thank you. Laura, I've got a question for you here. Can people book a tour or come to an open day?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're looking for entry for 2021, still we're full for year 9 and 10, but we do still have spaces for 7, 8 and 12. So I mean, we would love to see you before next Friday for tours then. Otherwise, 2022 entry, we've started booking those in for September now. We've got open morning Saturday the 25th of September. We're asking families to book that online, because we're operating staggered entry, just because that's usually a popular event. So yeah, head to the website and book for open morning as well.
Great. And then we've already got quite a few bookings coming in for that, haven't we?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then another question for you, Laura, and I've got some slides to help you here. When are the application tests and how do we apply, please?
So for year 7 entry, the tests are Tuesday the 23rd. Am I right? Yeah, Tuesday 23rd of November. All of these dates are going to be on the website, so you don't have to frantically scribble these down now. So these are the scholarships that we offer for year 7 entry there. Year 9 entry, the test dates are the 7th of February. Oh,
sorry, I've done the wrong one. Okay. Sorry, that's my fault. Carry on, Laura.
Okay. Year 9, 7th of February, yes, and then the day after for academic scholars. Again, there's the scholarships that we offer for year 9 and the deadlines there. And then year 12, obviously no entrance tests, but we do have deadlines for those scholarships. So they usually come around pretty quickly when we come back in September there.
Thank you. I'll just flip that year 7 one up quickly again, because that's probably got the most detail. That's great. Thank you very much. So I don't think we've got any more questions. We're coming to the end of our time. Does anyone want to chip in before I say goodbye to anyone? Is there anything I've missed?
And very quickly, I would just say that if you are interested in applying for an arts scholarship and you're not at the prep, you're at another school where you may not be so familiar, then we're really looking for a broad range of outcomes within a portfolio. So there might be some drawing, particularly keen on observational drawing, tone, proportion, shape, but also other media. It would be good to see some painting, printmaking, digital work, photography, sculpture, take photographs of that. You can bring digital stuff in on a memory stick. All of that stuff is very valuable. And then we select around 4 or 5 students to come in for the afternoon and do some more activities and have a short interview.
And is that quite fun, Richard?
Yes, we offer food and drink as a bribe to get them going. There's always chocolate and fruit juice to get us started. And then there are drawing activities, maybe a painting or a colour activity, and then a very short chat, very informal over the portfolio. It's not scary at all.
That's lovely. Right. Well, I think we've come to the end. That was a lovely way to wrap up. Thank you ever so much, all of you. Really enjoyed hearing about all the opportunities and about the opportunity for the co-curricular, and so much to do outside of the curriculum as well. So thank you very much. And that's goodbye from us.
Thank you.
Goodbye.